Good evening, ladies and gentlemen out there in YouTube land. I am Deleted Scenes, and welcome to tonight's episode of Unscripted. Already in the chat, Faithful Blue Wrench, the bird woman of YouTube, Connie Cleary. Host of Films with Friends, the creator of the 10-word review, Big Al Presents. He who is sometimes called Tim, FKHC 2005. My Stalkerazzi, Lady V Elements. New subscriber and friend of the channel, Curtis Selby. In a word, yes. Friend of the channel, JPRPH1. Joe's Atmosphere. All right. On with the show. The St. Patrick's Day edition. Like to thank all of you for being here. Now, last week, I had my Oscar special, not Oscar not so special, as I called it, which was successful. Thank you all for thank you to everyone who stuck with us. Jason Fox came on with me and becoming the first guest host of Unscripted ever. Got to roast the Oscars. It was a fun show. And hello to Dulcimerist, giving you a like whether you want one or not. Yes, as many likes as are possible. Speaking of which, and some of you may already know this who've been watching my channel over the last 24 hours or so. Overnight, I hit 3,000 watch hours. So I am one step closer towards monetization. Got to jump through a couple of hoops for the powers that be, as you know. But I want to thank all of you for continuing to support my channel. I'm very low tech. I'm sitting in my living room with my laptop on top of a TV tray in front of the television. Very low tech. You know. I'm not sci-fi for me. You know, I don't have enough equipment to launch the space shuttle with. I don't know how to be anything other than myself. So the fact that you continue to watch week to week, I am very surprised and I'm very thankful. And I do appreciate it. Now, someone who did not have a good week was Hannah Gutierrez Reed, who is the first person to be put on trial over the events that took place on the set of the movie Rust, which resulted in the death of cinematographer Helena Hutchins and the wounding of the film's director Joel Souza. And the latest news is that Hannah Gutierrez Reed has her sentencing hearing coming up on the 15th of April, as you can see here. And this was her being remanded into custody after the trial. She is looking at, as the article says here, a maximum of 18 months in prison for involuntary manslaughter. A jury in Santa Fe, New Mexico found her guilty after a 2-week trial in which prosecutors argued that her negligence led to astonishing failures of safety. Gutierrez Reed was responsible for the firearms on set. She accidentally loaded a live bullet into Alec Baldwin's vintage Colt revolver, which went off, killing Hutchins and wounding the film's director Joel Souza. Baldwin, who has denied pulling the trigger, faces his own criminal trial for involuntary manslaughter in July. Judge Mary Marlowe Summer ordered Gutierrez Reed taken into custody following the verdict last week, noticing the seriousness of the case. It is a death, the judge said. Gutierrez Reed is being held at the Santa Fe County Adult Detention Facility. The jury acquitted her of a separate charge of tampering with evidence, which would have added another 18 months to her sentence exposure. In an interview with Court TV last week, Special Prosecutor Carrie Morrissey said she would consult with the victims before deciding on what sentence to seek. I'm going to have to confirm with the Hutchins family, she told the outlet. I will also confer with Mr. Souza and try to come up with a recommendation for the court that's reasonable under the circumstances and fair to Ms. Gutierrez. Before the trial, Morrissey offered leniency to Gutierrez Reed if she would plead guilty and accept responsibility for bringing live rounds to the set. Gutierrez Reed refused to deal, and her lawyer said she would not confess to something she did not do. Gutierrez Reed's attorney, Jason Bowles, has said he will appeal the verdict. Mary Carmack Altwies, the Santa Fe district attorney, told supporters in an email last week that her office was, quote, one step closer to obtaining justice in the case. The journey is not over. There's more to do to make certain that justice is done. But we've made a huge step forward towards ensuring those responsible for Helena's death, tragic death, are held accountable. All right. Now, this is just the first step. There is much more to do. I feel the first AD, who apparently was also handling firearms on the set, this David Halls, who has something of a reputation of being a bit of a prickly character on set. The first AD is not supposed to handle firearms. They are not part of the chain of custody. Yet he did. Now, why he's not up on trial or not up on any charges, I think is also very telling. I think he shoved this girl under the bus. Anybody who has been following this program for a long period of time, you know I am not a fan of Alec Baldwin. And I think he's going to do everything possible to try and skate on this. Now, we've had everybody from armchair amateur detectives to people who actually know what they are doing when it comes to firearms, who have just, pardon the pun, shot holes into Alec Baldwin's statement. For the firearm he was using to fire, he would have had to have cocked the hammer back and physically pulled the trigger. So this BS that he's running, that he didn't pull the trigger, is a straight up lie. He may not have gone in there intending to kill anyone, and I'm not saying that he did. I'm not saying that anybody involved in this intended for anyone to die, but there was gross negligence on that set. There should have been no live ammunition anywhere near that set. But you know, these Hollywood types, to them, everything is a game. She'll be shot at dawn. I think she kind of already has been. You're pinning it on her, obvious reasons. She won't even take the deal. That shows a lot. Yeah, if she hasn't, I think she's figured it out by now that they're trying to put all the blame on her. I'm not saying she's blameless, because she's not. And we're going to get to that. But she should not be the only one to swing for this. I bet she was told to take the fall. She might have been. The set was made to discriminate against females in a way, and none of those old school Scientology guys don't like taking orders from women. Well, I don't know if there was anybody on the set of this movie that's involved in Scientology. I don't think Scientology did this one, folks. Always treat the gun as if it's loaded. That's one of the first things I learned as a kid in hunter safety class when they taught firearm safety. Yes. And they forgot that. I liked Hunt for Red October. That's really about all I can think of his films that I like. He's been in some good ones. I'm not denying that. I'll say there was intent. The souls of the wicked have a stead you can't miss. Okay? I have a friend who was in the Secret Service, so he knows about guns. He did some work on films here in the area. He said Alec had to have pulled the trigger. Yeah. Well, that much is clear. There was an issue with that gun. Supposedly, there were reports this gun had misfired a couple of times, and they were target practicing with it earlier with live ammunition. Why would they keep using it? It could have been a budget issue. They should have removed the gun from the set. Absolutely. There's a lot of things they should have done. Now, we know that there were issues with safety on the set. Mishandling of firearms. Live rounds being mixed in with blanks. We know now that safety on the set of this movie was pretty much out of the window pretty early on. You have a temperamental star producer, and my guess probably ghost directing as well, who is throwing his weight around on the set. And that's not a pun, I mean it metaphorically. You have an inexperienced Nepo baby who was more concerned with her OnlyFans account than the safety on the set. She probably should not have been there, and like I said, we are getting to that. But there's something else that I want to bring up that is kind of glossed over in this story. Now, this sentence here at the top. The jury acquitted her of a separate charge of tampering with evidence, which would have added another 18 months to her sentence exposure. Now, the evidence that she was alleged to have destroyed was a bag of cocaine. Now, who brought the cocaine onto set? Who used it is anybody's guess. And hello to Aged Boomer. But it only goes to add another level of responsibility, because you're not only talking about live ammo on the set, you're talking about drugs and live ammunition on the set. You do not need me to tell you that that is not a good mix. I am surprised that more people were not hurt or killed on the set of this film. FK said, same here, I never touched a real gun before, only antiques. And they are made able to not fire again. But even I know to always treat a gun like it's loaded. Yeah. Even if you know that the weapon either can't be fired or whether it's an antique, what worst case scenario, assume it is loaded. Assume that weapon can be fired. And as Brandon Herrera says in every video, do not point a gun at anything or anyone that you do not intend to destroy. But no, you got a bunch of Hollywood types coked up running around on this set with live ammo, and people died. It's as simple as that. It's gross negligence. And this girl is going to swing for it. I just don't believe she should go down alone. It says, I've also not touched many firearms. Dad was always too drunk to teach me much, but he taught me two things. One was that a gun's always loaded as far as handling it. Yes. Did they figure out who purchased the ammo and brought it on set? Now, the individual who was involved in obtaining the ammo is a guy named Seth Kenny. Now, I saw a little bit of his testimony. I was not familiar with who he was before they brought him up on the stand. I don't know 100% how he fits in. Obviously, he's someone who cooperated with the investigation because he's not up on any charges. Everything I have heard about him has been conjecture and hearsay, and I don't want to come on here and like smear the guy in public if I don't know if he's truly responsible for doing anything wrong. I'm just saying what I have personally heard about the guy. I got some questions. And remember, Alec Baldwin will be going on trial in this case. So who knows? We might be seeing some of these people again. Baldwin demands a supply of it. Maybe he does. Who knows? Go, firearm Harley weirdos. Yeah, fucking run. Yeah, true. We don't know whose cocaine it is. Haven't I heard that somewhere before? Yeah. And, ladies and gentlemen, contacting us from the future, Sashi. Live ammo, drugs, and Alec Baldwin are not a good match. No. Run away, run away. Yes. Oh my god, I got Kenny. And hello to D. Penzak. Curtis says, I don't mean to sound hateful, but personally, I'm glad he's going on trial. Nothing personal, but I know if I'd done the same thing, I know I'd be on trial. Yeah, that too. Now, some of you might remember last year that Jedi Bill and I, for Western Cinema Presents, we watched a movie called The Old Way. It was another Western with Nicolas Cage. Now, Hannah Gutierrez Reed also worked on The Old Way. And it seems that our pal Nicolas Cage was less than happy with her, as you can see from this story. Rookie Rust Armorer once made Nicolas Cage storm off film set after firing gun. A furious Nicolas Cage stormed off the set of a film where Hannah Gutierrez Reed was in charge of weapons and ripped the rookie armorer for firing a gun without warning, crew members said in a new report. The 24-year-old Rust armorer was in charge of guns when Alec Baldwin shot dead cinematographer Helena Hutchins last Thursday. Was repeatedly accused by crew members of breaking basic safety protocols on the Montana set of Cage's The Old Way in August. This is clearly an older story from 2021. Cage even walked off the set screaming at Gutierrez Reed after she fired a gun without warning for the second time in 3 days, the movie's key group Stu Brombaugh told the outlet. "Make an announcement, you just blew my fucking eardrums out," Cage yelled before walking off in a rage, Brombaugh recalled. Brombaugh even told the assistant director of the armor she needs to be let go. He said, "After the second round, I was pissed off. We were moving too fast. She's a rookie," he said, saying that it was only after complaining that he found out it was the key crew member's first movie in charge of weapons. Brombaugh detailed a series of complaints that were made about Gutierrez Reed, including that she walked onto the set with live rounds or blanks without announcing it to the cast and crew. She also walked around with pistols tucked under her armpits, such that they were pointing back at people and allowed firearms to be aimed at people, Brombaugh told the Wrap. Another crew member who spoke on the condition of anonymity confirmed the concerns. Gutierrez Reed, quote, "put the cast and crew in several unnecessary and dangerous situations," the unidentified crew member told the Wrap. After the fatal shooting on Rust, Gutierrez Reed, the daughter of Hollywood weapons expert Thel Reed, had admitted to not feeling ready for taking on the responsibility when offered the Old Way job. It was also my first time being head armorer. I was really nervous about it at first, and I almost didn't take the job because I wasn't sure if I was ready, she admitted on a podcast last month. "I think the best part of my job is just showing people who are normally kind of freaked out by guns how safe they can be and how they're not really problematic unless put in the wrong hands." Brombaugh blamed movie producers for putting such inexperienced people in key jobs just to save money. "It's been happening more and more," he told the Wrap. "As producers refuse to bring more experienced people because their rates are higher, they demand We take our time, and producers don't want to pay it. So they hire a newbie who's energetic and wants the job, and will do it with less people, he said. More than Gutierrez Reed's inexperience, he believes the problem on Rust was that she didn't have the help, Brombaugh said, echoing complaints from other experienced movie crew members. She was doing everything by herself on that movie and on the other movie. If there was one more person on the other movie, the tragedy wouldn't have happened. A second person would have inspected to make sure the barrels were clear, he said. Gutierrez Reed could not be reached, and neither the first assistant for the Old Way nor reps for Cage responded to requests for comment, the Rap said. One unidentified producer on the movie did, however, insist they had, quote, no such recollection of the events the Grip mentioned, insisting they were being blown out of proportion. Jeffrey Crow, oh, that's an ironic name, the prop master who supervised Gutierrez Reed on The Old Way, also defended her in a recent interview with the Los Angeles Times. I thought she was an exceptionally young, up-and-coming, very eager and talented armorer, he said, saying that he was stymied that she could be involved in the accidental fatal shot fired by Baldwin. All right. I had a lot of faith in her, and I still do. I'm going to be surprised if there was anything she was ultimately responsible for in all this, just seeing how she acted in the past. This is all such a surprise. All right. Well, let's move back up here. I don't want to ignore the chat. How the hell do these people get these jobs? Well, I think that there were a couple of clues right there. You're dealing with the daughter of a man who's been doing this for decades. They also hired her because she was cheap. And these people are trying to cut corners whenever possible. So my question with respect to deleted scenes is, why is this the first I'm hearing of that? Well, I heard about it at the time. I why the second incident is not brought up more. Um, I don't know. It could just be the major news outlets not doing their job, not looking into it further. Um, but yeah, this incident on the set of The Old Way, I heard about it back at the time when this article first came out. Yeah, her dad helped her get the job. He did. Yeah. Funny how if a person kills someone in a hit and run with a car, they don't arrest the salesman who sold the driver the car. They arrest the driver. The person firing the gun did the deed. Yeah. She has the wrong hands. Yeah. Wasn't ready, declined the job. Qualified experts don't want to deal with the drama that comes with some of these actors. True. Productions don't want to pay me a kit fee most of the time when working on a film. Go figure, they're skimping on things. Yeah. Good old nepotism putting the rest of us in harm's way since the beginning of society. Yeah. Rest in peace, Brandon Lee. Yeah. You know. And the difference, and I'll tell you something here. Now, in the incident on The Crow with Brandon Lee, the actor who fired the gun in that case was an actor named Michael Massey. And to tell you the difference between this guy and Alec Baldwin is this guy was so broken up about it and so blamed himself, even though he was not at fault. He didn't do another movie for years afterward. Because he didn't want to risk putting himself back into that kind of a situation again. I mean, that did a lot to him psychologically. And I can see the difference in him between the movies that he did before The Crow and the movies that he did after. There's a physical difference. You can tell what that did to that guy. Alec Baldwin is strutting around like he doesn't have a care in the world. Oh, I didn't do it. The gun just went off. Bullshit. You might not have gone in there intending to kill anyone, but you did, and you better damn well take the responsibility for it. John Eric Hexum got killed on set too. Yes, he did. He died on the set of a series called Cover Up. Yeah. Even a blank round will kill you if you're close enough. The mainstream media does a terrible job. I learn way more from independents. So do I. I don't pay attention to mainstream media anymore because I know they're lying. Or they're not telling you everything. Everything's an agenda to them. I suppose if someone provided someone with a car that had things wrong with it, like faulty brakes, the person providing the car would be partially liable if the car kills someone. Yeah. Well, I've never killed anyone or hurt someone so badly they ended up with long-term health issues. I think it would mess anyone up. Yeah. And Michael Massey, rest in peace. He is no longer with us now. He died from cancer. Yeah. I remember that interview when they finally sat him down and he finally years later talked about it. Yeah. I'd be devastated. I think most people would be. Yeah, because most people have a conscience. John Eric Nixon put the gun to his head, pulled the trigger thinking the blank wouldn't hurt. Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah. What did we say? Assume there's a live round in there. I think he believes he's going to skate from it, and he still may. Too much high grade sugar makes you not care. Yeah. It's a sad situation all the way around. There's a lot of blame to go around. But it's not over. I'm sure we'll be talking more about this when we get to Baldwin's trial here later in the year. All right. I want this to be the takeaway. Learn to be responsible for your actions. If you did something wrong, admit it, and then live with the consequences. At the same time, if you are being blamed for something that you didn't do, then you fight for your rights. There was gross negligence on the set of Rust. There was live ammunition on the set. There were drugs on the set. They don't mix. Now, they're going to continue with this movie. I believe they have finished it. I don't know who's going to see it. Um, you would think after Brandon Lee they would have learned. Helena Hutchins, rest in peace. All right, moving on to our my What's on My Shelf segment. And I want to do more of these. I want to do more. I want to do more short videos as well. Kind of, kind of showing off my collection. And I'm going to have some things coming up, some videos coming up, some new segments, some new series coming up where I'm going to be going more into physical media. And this is the movie that Netter's Network showed last night. And this is Darkest Hour with Gary Oldman as Winston Churchill. This is the movie that he won his Oscar for. The movie is nominated for Best Picture. Very high quality film. Mostly historically accurate, too. Not entirely, but for the most part it is. And there's the back cover. That's the digital code plus the Blu-ray and the DVD. So my video pick of the week is Darkest Hour. All right. The film should never be finished. Sadly, it has. Um, drugs too on the set. You're gonna call it something else. This is wrong. It's going to become a write-off. I bet maybe. Somehow, some way, the powers that be will still find a way to make money off this. Yeah. Wonder what completion bond company will insure Baldwin in the future. Yeah, I know that's a good question. So she said, I can't take your advice to fight for my rights over here. I just go missing. You cheat him in hell. Yeah. It was so good and a great stream, he thinks it was. Deleted, you have a face for radio. Brother, I know it. Darkest Hour was very enjoyable. It was, yeah. Just messing with me. I know. I sometimes show my face on my channel. I don't like the way I look on camera. You know, I go on channels sometimes. I go on camera sometimes. Sometimes I don't. I don't know. If you guys think I should do that more, let me know. Anyway, this is the part of the show where I turn it over to you in the chat. If you have any questions for me or any suggestions for things that you would like to see on the channel, anything that you would like to see me review in the future, or any subjects maybe you might like to see me talk about, now is the time. Cameras are awkward for me even at work. Yeah, I tell you, I used to work at Walmart. This was years ago. You know, there are 500 cameras inside of an average Walmart. Most of them you can't see. It's true. Thank you for your work here, deleted. You're appreciated. Thank you. Think you should show your face more. Yeah. Oh, okay. I like what you do is your expressions. What episode will it be in 14 episodes from now? Oh, yeah, 69. It will, yeah. Well, let's see if I get there. Hopefully, I won't get canceled between now and then. I worked at Walmart for 7 years. I will never get that time back. LOL. Yeah. Thank you. I love it. All righty. Okay, I want to remind everybody at the top of the hour to head on over to Aged Boomer's channel for this week's episode of Geeky Geezers, co-hosted with Troy Pacelli. And they're going to be taking a deep dive into this Sweet Baby Inc. situation. There are a lot of cameras in Walmart, and it's already have all their cameras for sale. Yeah. Somebody should be impressed. I'm not saying something. Another great episode tonight, thank you. You're welcome. All right. I also want to remind everyone that once Geeky Geezers is completed, go and get yourself a nice beverage, get a snack, and rejoin me right back here on my channel, 12:05 a.m. Eastern, 11:05 p.m. Central, for the other side of midnight. And tonight, Netter's Network will be my guest. We are going to find out the origins of her channel and how she wound up joining our wacky little fellowship here. All right. Tomorrow night will be a mystery movie night. I am going to be reviewing whatever the movie might be. 10 p.m. Then, of course, Tuesday at 8:30, Netter, Troy, and Boomer are going to join me for another episode of Live from Sparkwood and 21, our Twin Peaks retrospective series. Thursday, Jedi Bill and I usually host Action Theater. We will not be doing that this week because we are going to go see Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. And Thursday night at 10 p.m., we are going to have a live, non-spoiler review of the new Ghostbusters. So stay tuned for that. I won't make it back, although I kind of want to. Well, we'll miss you. If you can make it, Curtis, great. If you can't, I'll understand completely. It was a great stream. Thank you. Murder by Death. Yeah, I'm trying to remember if I ever saw that. You need to do a mystery movie like The Thin Man. Yeah, I like the Thin Man movies. How about around Easter you do a watch party for Life of Brian? Yeah. Yeah, that'd be something to consider. All right. Slap me into stickers. Oh, maybe. All right. That's the show for this evening. I would like to thank everybody who is following along on Twitter. I can't see you, but I know that you're there. Everyone who is lurking in the background, because there's always one or two, that's quite all right. Just as long as you enjoyed the show, please hit the like. And if you are new to the channel, please feel free to subscribe. This is the road to 2,500. I want to thank everyone who was with us in the chat tonight. Lady V Elements, Lady Mist, Connie Cleary, Curtis Selby, FKHC 2005, Dulcimerist, D. Pensac, Sashi, JP RPH1, Aged Boomer, Big Al Presents, from HQ. Good night. Take care. Stay strong, because this is how we win.